Hello, World Buffeteers. This is Amada, your Chief Buffeteer at Startup Buffet and your host for Success Secret Sauce, the all-you-can buffet-style business show for entrepreneurs. In year 2002, there are two life-changing events happened to me personally by chance. The first one was a friend of mine told me about a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The second event was I was tricked by another friend, a different friend, to attend a 4-day seminar. It's a personal development seminar called PSI, Personal Success Institute. Now, some people believed the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, as well as PSI, Personal Success Institute, the seminar, are cult-like. Now, they are two separate events, two separate things, unrelated completely. They just happened to me personally at the same time in 2002. And when I combine these two together, that really make an impact. Now, while these two are unrelated, a lot of people believe they're cult-like because people who study these two topics, first is personal finance, second is personal development. We study them religiously. We're very devoted to these two topics. So no wonder they said, oh gosh, you guys are like a cult-like. Yes, when you're very devoted to a topic or something that you have a lot of interest, that's what you do. You spend a lot of time and you practice what you learned. So no wonder they said, hey, you guys are like cult, because we study these two topics, personal finance and personal development, religiously. In my opinion, that's no difference than people will pray every day, or people will go to church or temple and practice their religion. So if this is my religion, I'm good with that, because obviously it actually helped a lot of people. It served a lot of people well. And in Startup Buffet, we create our own religion. We believe in entrepreneurship. We believe in personal development. And we believe these two topics very, very much linked together. And it's not all about money. We do have a mission. And it's very much like the missionary. They go around the world and spread the word. We're doing the exact same thing. So fortunately, I agree with them. People, you can Google it online. It's like, oh, gosh, these are cult-like people following this. Yes, I agree, because we study personal finance and personal development religiously. In part one of The Cults That Make Me Millions is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read this book in 2002, but the year prior to that, in 2001, I was everything but successful. In fact, I was a disaster. I have absolutely no qualification in any standard to become successful, period. In 2001, I was working for a company. It's a tech company. It's publicly traded. So I have a high-paying job. I have a 401k. I have stock options. I have my own portfolio, heavily invested in the same company. And I have very little saving because, we don't need to save. We work for this really promising company that is publicly traded. Stock was going up and up for a couple of years before that, of course. So we don't need to worry about that. We were partying. We were living large. We were having a blast. We never saw anything could ever happen to us. Until it did. In year 2001, the tech bubble burst. And about a month later, I got laid off on my birthday, which is the best birthday present ever. Because without that, I don't think I'll be here today. I don't think I will ever be who I am today. Now, this event, the layoff, actually lay off quite a few people, half of the company at that moment. I still actually saw people complain about, they bitch about, how they got laid off. For me, oh my God, thank you so much. I really, really be so thankful for that happened to me, and especially when I was much younger too. But same events happen to different people. They still feel sour. They still feel even distressed about it. They're really, really, really angry about it. So, but anyway, I lost my job during that time in 2001. That I was angry too. I was not happy. But I feel, you know what? It is what it is. Let's see what we can do. But at that moment, it wasn't easy. I lost my job, so my high paying paycheck that used to come every 2 weeks all of a sudden stopped coming in. And my 401k vanished, because if anybody knows anything about 401k is highly related, tied to Wall Street. When the tech bubble burst, Wall Street, practically all the values is gone. Now my 401k gone with it. Of course, the stock options that I used to have at one point it worth over $1 million. It was a lot of money for anybody in any standard. And it's gone because the company is basically insolvent. And during that time, it just went down to zero. Then I was actually downsized a couple of times because I used to live in a luxury apartment, and now I am qualified to live in a low-income housing apartment. And this low-income housing project, at least for this, I'm proud to say, is actually privately subsidized. It's not subsidized by the government. It's not like Section 8. So I never, ever jump into the government's welfare bandwagon. And I'm very, very proud to say that. Now, with that, at some point, I can no longer be able to afford to live in this low-income housing project. I have to move again. I downsized again. Now, during that time, I had a lot of odd jobs. You just have to do whatever it takes, right, to get income. Now, this is Las Vegas. Tech job wasn't readily and easily available. It's only how many tech jobs. And the company laid off a lot of people. At one point when I joined the company, it was about 100 some people. And by the time 2001 hit, we have over 600, close to 700 employees. Now, all the 700 people now also looking for jobs. These are all my competitions. I was like, okay, you know what? I got to do something. And a lot of people also went through the same thing. They did a lot of odd jobs. My odd jobs list include car salesman, timeshare salesman, telemarketer, online support, customer service. I was also a part-time professor in AI Art Institute. It's actually a nationwide accredited college, and they are focused on art and design skills. Well, out of that, it's probably the coolest job that I have was the professor job, because I got to teach illustrations, which is fun. But the best one was actually the other class that I taught is called Design to Concept. Design Concept, it's basically how to turn a concept, an intangible idea, into a tangible product. Like it could be a product of a prototype, it could be a product of illustration, things like that. So that's really, really cool. It was fun. But the worst ever was the car salesman job. Well, nobody likes car salesmen, especially used car salesmen. Although, I actually sell Toyota. Wasn't the hard sell of the Toyota, but it's the people. It's so poison and toxic. Even the GM, from top down. These people just treat their salesperson like scumbag. And I learned so much. I learned so much of what not to do in my future business, or how I should treat people. And that's the thing that I learned in a negative way. And I'm not saying car salesmen are bad people. It's just the culture in general are not very good. It's bad. So then I also did timeshare. Timeshare was different. I wasn't even a salesperson in timeshare. I was a greeter. My job is to greet people. Now remember, I was living in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas has many casinos, and the timeshare company will rent a space from the casino. My job, and a lot of the space is strategically placed in the very front entrance, or close to the entrance of the casino. So my job is to greet people when the patrons come in. There are hundreds of thousands of patrons coming into casino every day. And I will go up there to pre-qualify them and see if they qualify for what we're looking for. And then I'll bring them to the table. The table where actually the real salesperson will invite them to a sales presentation. And in exchange for their time, typically about 90 minutes to like maybe 2 hours, it's they'll get a free meal, free tickets to a show, or something like that. So my job as the greeter is to find the right customer, greet them first, and qualify them and bring them to the table. Not the glorious job, but I did. Then in 2002, I was talking to my friend. We talk regularly, and she's my best friend. I talk about her in the show a few times. One day she asked me, "Hey, have you heard of this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad? It's about money. I think you'll like it. You always like money." Now, obviously, she also read the book, and it did not have the same effect for her. Basically, she read the book. I guess she didn't get it, or she did not make the connection. But when I read the book, I got it and made that connection. But anyway, when she told me about this book, she said, "Hey, this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you may like it. It's about money." My reaction at first was, "Oh, are you kidding me? Sure, I'll look into it. Of course, I will look into it." I didn't look into it. I have no interest. I don't read. I did not read during that time. I hate reading. I don't study for things like that. Money, it's just, no, we don't. I don't have to do that. Everybody knows money already. What are you talking about? So I never thought anything about it. She mentioned it. She recommended it. Never done anything. Never, rush out to get a copy of it. Never go to, back then it's Borders and Barnes and Nobles, right? No. Never trigger me for the next step. Then one day, I decided I need to go to the library. Because, where I used to live, in this room, because I downsized again to this, room. I live in a very nice area, but I'm just renting a room. There's a library close by. It's the one in Spring Valley. If you live in Las Vegas, you know what I'm talking about. So I went over there regularly because that's the closest library. The reason why I went over there, it's because you can get free DVDs. So I'll go there to get free entertainment. And one day, I went over there, did my usual, went to the video and audio section. I just walk in, it's like, oh, okay, it looks quite empty today. And I walked by and saw this box sitting there, literally staring at me. This box has a purple background and yellow, goldish looking fonts said, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I immediately thought of the conversation with my friends. It's like, oh yeah, I should talk about this. Huh, okay, interesting. I literally just walk by, I walk away. But I thought, wait a minute, what is that really? I went back, take a look, pick up the box. Oh, this is not even a book. It's an audio book. It's like, I never seen an audiobook. I never listened to an audiobook. I thought, you know what, it's free. I check it out. If I check it out, I have 3 weeks to listen to it. If I don't like it, it's free. Who cares? So I checked out the audiobook, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. As soon as I got into my car, I popped the first CDs in. Within 30 seconds, pretty much, I was hooked. It's just like listening to a story. It's almost like a fiction, but this is non-fiction. And I thought, wow, this is actually kind of fun. So I kept listening to it, and I got through it fairly quickly. And as I listened to different chapters, I had this aha moment. Remember, I just got laid off 2001, a year ago. And a year later, this message just came to me. It's a wake-up call. For me, it's the biggest wake-up call. And I cannot thank first my friend who told me about this book, and also the author, Robert, of writing this book. It changed my life in many ways. The first wake-up call was, oh my God, this high-paying job thing, it's crazy. You really cannot rely on corporate America. You really cannot rely on anyone, government, or even close friend, family. You cannot rely on anybody. Okay. The second was, oh my God, I don't think I'm the only one. This is actually a group of people actually experience the same thing. So that's why this book became so popular. Now, this little purple book I have shown in a different episode before changed my life. Make me a lot of money. Now, it's not really the money. It's the power of the money that gave me the freedom of do what I love to do. And that is the power that my message is about. This is my signed copy that Robert signed for me. I met him. Actually, I saw him the first time on stage. He was on stage 2004 on a very, very big event. And the next year again in 2005, another event. His message never ever changed. This book was written in 1997 and is still valid today, almost 20 years later. Okay, so the message never changed. And I learned so much. I want to go through a few things with you of what this book's message is about. In the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, there are 6 lessons. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the 6 lessons. If you have already read the book, but you haven't taken action, please read the book again and take action. If you have not read the book and would like to, please rush out and get a copy. And if you would like me, that you did not have the money right now, like what happened to me back in 2001, 2002, go to your local library. I'm pretty confident that they would have a copy over there. Now, this book was published in 1997, and now they have a new cover, and this is the cover on the screen. Now, obviously, my copy, the signed copy, is dated in terms of, but it's classic. Since then, the cover has changed, but the content never changed. This book was written in 1997. Now we're in 2017. 20 years later. The concept, the content, the idea never ever changed. What it had done to millions is to change their life, change their financial life, change their mindset. What this book had done for me was it opened up my mind. Once it's opened up, I can see everything so differently. It changed my life. It really, really did. So with the concept that I learned from this book, I applied in real life. And it's just amazing. Amazing what it has progressed since then. Now, this book is never meant to be a how-to menu step-by-step. It's meant to be a conceptual mind opener. It's an inspiration. So a lot of people complain about, it didn't never really tell you how to invest. I never tell you how to do whatever that they thought it will tell you to do. No, it's not meant to be. So this book will open up your mind. Remember in a couple of episodes ago that I talked about programming. Our mind was being programmed for decades by other people, your parents, teachers, society, friends, influence. Now is your time to reprogram and take control. What you put in your mind is as important of how you actually put it in there as well. So it's very important that you take control and take it back. What you put in your mind, it's very, very important. Who you select to you associate with is very, very important. I hope Startup Buffet is your new coat that we're going to bring in new ideas and new concept to you to help you grow you and your business. In the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, there are 6 lessons. Now, I'm not going to go through each and one of them and explained, because I'm sure you can enjoy it yourself. If you have read the book, if you already own the book, but you haven't taken any action, please read the book again and start taking action. If you have not read the book, go get one. Go get the audiobooks if you like the audio version like I did. And if you don't have the money to buy the book, go to the local library like I did before, many years ago, that I just simply don't have the money to buy anything like that. Go to the local library. I'm sure they have a copy, and you can still learn the exact same way. Now, this book was published in 1997. Now it has changed. The cover has changed. This is the current cover on the screen. Although the look and feel, the cover has changed, but the content inside never changed. The book was published in 1997, 20 years later. The content, the idea, the concept still hold truth and is more today than 20 years ago. So this book had given me financial freedom, had given millions of people inspiration and also their financial freedom. And I hope this book will also help you get to that point, cross that bridge. And every time I said it in a joking way, but it's true. Every time when I see Robert, I make more money. And it's not the money that really makes me so happy. I see other people getting out of the rat race, be able to say, I am financially free. I no longer chain linked and, get buckled down because of my job. That is so inspiring. The money part is great, but it's the financial freedom that allow us to do things that I was not able to do before. That's what's the most inspiring thing. In fact, a couple years ago, and actually last year, I actually went to cruise with Robert and Kim Kiyosaki's with a group of people as well. We do that. I've done it a couple of times. Some people do it almost every year. But that we'll get together for 10 days. We study about business, money, what's coming, how to prepare for it, and how to make better. And also we spread the word. We teach other people. And in this podcast, it's one of the way that I want to give back. I want to introduce what I have learned, what I know, and share with you guys. With that, now this is the picture that I took with Robert a few years ago, and this is the group of people. A few years ago, it was huge. It was a huge group. This last year, it's a little bit more manageable. But we had so much fun, and Robert and Kim are really, really, one of my biggest role model. He's truly my rich dad. I'm honestly forever thankful for them because they share what they know. And this group of people, a few of them become very, very good friend, close friend. And we just have the same mindset. And that's the fun part of it. When we get together for 10 days, we talk about the topic of personal finance, personal development all day long. In a way, some of us got sick and it's like, oh my God, that's all we talk about. But it's so much fun. And when I see other friends that don't have the same similar interests, we can only talk about a certain thing, but it only goes so far. But with this group of people, oh my God, we're crazy. We talk about business, money, real estate, personal development, gold and silver. It was a blast. So I hoped Startup Buffet and the Success Secret Sauce show it's actually your new cult. Because in Startup Buffet, that's our mission. Our mission is to bring the best information, the easiest, to help you and your business as an entrepreneur or a entrepreneur who are still thinking about starting your own business. You have the idea, but you haven't actually figured out how to do it. We hope that we can bring this show and also our website be of value to you. So don't forget to visit our site at startupbuffet.com. That's so much that you can learn. I'm constantly learning from all different people. And another coolest thing about this book is this was my first ever audiobook. And ever since I started listening to this book, I couldn't stop. That was the beginning, but there is no end in sight. Now I read an average 1 or 2 books a month. It depends on the length of the book or the topic of the book. Do I need to study it or I just really go through it? So it really depends on, how much studying that I need to do. But for you, again, if you haven't started reading this book or you have, either way, take action, because being financially educated and be able to develop your personal finance strategy is more important today than ever. In our next episode, we're going to go to part 2 of The Cult That Made Me Millions. Don't forget to subscribe and give us some 5-star reviews. Your supports fuel our energy and keep us going. Go to startupbuffet.com and binge watch all the business videos that you want. As always, Startup Buffet, your business your way. This is your Chief Buffeteer, Ameda Chan. See you next time.
Hey Buffeteers, don't forget to subscribe, share, review, and give us some 5 stars love. And as always, Startup Buffet, your business your way. Get all the extras, downloads, and videos mentioned in this episode at startupbuffet.com